of this country and the authors of the Constitution had in mind that you could tear a living baby apart, and that was part of our freedoms. I mean, it's just outrageous that the Democrat Party and too many Americans still think that's the case.
Well, and let's be very, very clear and very honest about Northern Virginia.
Yes.
That, once the baby comes out, it's between the mother and the doctor what they want to do with that baby, and it's like, you've got to be kidding me.
Peter Singer, who's notorious quote-unquote ethicist, but pro-abortion all the way and pro-infanticide, he once said, and this is illuminated by this whole debate on infanticide now that Governor Northam and others ignited last year at this time. Singer said, there's only one logical position: either oppose abortion or endorse infanticide. Because he said the process of birth cannot possibly be so morally significant that it actually changes a non-person into a person. It's this, obviously everybody knows, it's the same baby. So many of the arguments that people use for justifying killing that baby inside the womb could just as well be used for killing the baby outside the womb. I'm too young. I can't have another child. Well, are you still too young the day after the baby was born? Of course you are. So the point is coming into high relief. 2019 was a crucial year for the whole abortion debate. A lot of people woke up, and I'm glad that we see a strong pro-life momentum now going into election year 2020.
We all know that, God forbid a woman loses a child. I mean, there's grief because of the loss of a child inside of the womb.
Yes.
We all know that the excitement, I remember when my wife was pregnant with our daughters, the excitement when you feel the kicking.
Yes.
And there's life in there, and you experience that. And to deny that it's worse than putting your head in the ground and playing ostrich.
Let
me ask you something. The president was the first president to actually address this kind of rally.
Mm-hmm.
This will help him with the conservative religious base. I get that. What will this, though, do to Democrats in the Democrat base? Because there are some Democrats who have approached people like Pete Buttigieg and said, am I welcome in the party because I'm pro-life?
Yes.
And basically he has said, no, you're not really welcome.
There are tens of millions of people who identify as Democrats who oppose what the Democrat platform says on abortion. And they need to realize they might not recognize how extreme the Democrat platform has become and how extreme these presidential candidates on the Democrat side have become. But it's time for them to understand it. And perhaps, an event like this with the president highlighting this issue, making it front and center, will help. It certainly helps us educate so many of our fellow citizens, friends that we have, co-workers, relatives who are Democrats but do not buy into this idea of unlimited abortion. I think it's a great time for these folks to rise up and within the Democrat Party say to the leadership, hey, you don't represent us. You don't represent us anymore. Change this stance, change this platform. Why should being a Democrat with any of the other things that folks might say are good about the party, why let it be tainted by this adherence to unlimited abortion?
Right. No, absolutely. And I will say very candidly to you that there are a lot of people out there, including myself, who was pro-choice at one time, pro-abortion,
mm-hmm.
and gone through a lot of changes in our lives, my life, to understand, I mean, if it's a life, it's a life, bottom line. And, once the baby is conceived, there is a soul inside of that baby, and in the Jewish religion we call it a neshama.
Yes,
it's a soul inside of that baby, and to take that away really violates, I believe, violates God's law. This is where I'm coming from.
Well, it does, and what it also does, it unleashes a lifetime of grief and regret. As you may have seen on some of the coverage, both at the March for Life in D.C., where the president was, and then the next day at the Walk for Life in San Francisco, where I also spoke, and that's the second largest annual pro-life event, we had gatherings of what we call the Silent No More campaign. It's one of the projects we do in my organization, Priests for Life. And Silent No More are the voices of those who've experienced abortion. And not just the moms, but the dads and the grandparents, siblings, and a whole host of people who are wounded by each abortion that happens. So they actually get up on a public sidewalk and in a rally, and they share their testimony. This is so powerful. And the president is aware of this, and he has encouraged, those who reach out and minister to these folks who are suffering from their past abortions. This is a great way to advance the whole debate, because the other side claims, oh well, we're serving women and we're for women's health and freedom and rights, and the reality is that abortion destroys all those things. It doesn't help all those things. So I want to encourage folks to listen.
Also takes the lives of young girls.
Exactly.
Okay. Father Frank Pavone, the national co-chair of Pro-Life Voices for Trump. Thank you, sir, for what you're doing and for being with us today. Keep up the good fight.
Thank you, Alan. Good to be with you.
Thank you very, very much.